Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. God, let me move. This is Affleck. This is Affleck, my little duck car thing. But let me move him because how am I supposed to move him? 1 second. Okay, today we're gonna do a little drive with me. I asked you guys to ask me questions about just like college and college in general, or just like any questions you guys have about college. And then also I looked on Wisco Chicks, which is like our little, it's like not affiliated with Madison, but like, I don't know, it's just like an Instagram page where a bunch of people ask questions and whatever. So I looked on Wisco Chicks and I picked out a few questions to answer. So I'll be answering all of your questions in this drive with me. I'm going to 7 Brew right now. If you guys have never heard of 7 Brew, it is basically like a Dutch Bros. If you've also never heard of a Dutch Bros, it's just like a drinks place. I feel like Dutch Bros is more like energy drinks, whatever. I've only been to a Dutch Bros once. 7 Brew is more of a coffee place, and I really want a blondie. I freaking love those blondies. Like, they're so good. So we're gonna drive over to 7 Brew and I'm gonna go get a blondie. But yeah, we're just gonna sit, we're gonna chat, kind of like, I guess it'll be like kind of like we're on FaceTime while I'm driving. But I got a new little stand for my car so I can have my camera on it, because if not, my camera would be literally flying everywhere. Let's go to 7 Brew. I really wanted to clean my car too. I wanted to clean my car because it's so nasty, and I wanted to literally deep clean it because there's just stuff everywhere and I feel like I just need to vacuum everything up. But I will do that another day because it doesn't look like today is going to be that day. Happy Sunday. Let's go to 7 Brew because I need to get this coffee, and I just need to get this coffee. I don't know what is in, oh my gosh, Affleck! I don't know what is in these coffees, but they're literally so good. Fun fact, one time I went to 7 Brew and I was going to order a mango smoothie because this was maybe like the first or second time I went to 7 Brew, and I was gonna order a smoothie, and they accidentally made a milk chocolate mocha for someone. I don't know, like I think they just accidentally made it or something, and they like gave it to me and they're like, here, do you want this free drink? And I was like, sure, like I'm never gonna say no to a free drink. So then they gave it to me and I was like, oh, this is actually so good. So I could get a mocha, but every time I go to 7 Brew I do get a blondie because they're actually so good. Do I know what's in a blondie? Not necessarily. Like, I don't necessarily know what's in a blondie, but I just know that it's like really good. It probably has so much sugar in it, but I get 7 Brew every once in a while, and today I thought it would be fun to go get 7 Brew. I will see you guys when I'm at 7 Brew, and then we're gonna answer some questions, some college questions you guys have. Also, you guys can leave questions down in the comments below if you have any questions. I don't know when I'm gonna do another answering your guys' questions, but I can always just answer your questions in the comments because I check the comments like every day. I check all the time, just like comments and stuff. So if you guys leave a comment below, I'll definitely get to it. So just leave a comment below and I will answer your question, whether it's in the video or if it is just down in the comments. So I'll see you guys when we get 7 Brew. I'm pulling into the driveway at 7 Brew. I think I want to go, I think I want to get my 7 Brew and then go to like a random parking lot to answer these questions, because this is kind of like a drive. Here, I'll show you guys. It's kind of like a drive-through kind of thing. So it's a little interesting. All right, I panicked a little bit, but I already ordered. I accidentally turned the camera off and I ordered, but I got a medium blondie, so they're just gonna have me pay up front. Also, I did my nails. Don't look at them up too close because they're a little ratchet, because I don't know how to do nails and I'm just learning how to do them. But I really don't like acrylics. I don't like having fake nails. Like, I don't know what it is, I just like don't like it. But I let my natural nails grow out. I kind of just like filed them and then like shaped them, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go get this blondie. Oh, I see it. Hi. Yes, thank you. All right, guys. Oh my frick. I'm so excited to get into this. I need to go to a random parking lot so we can answer these questions. Oh my gosh, I'm literally so excited. Okay, I'll see you guys at the parking lot. Okay, I found a random parking lot. I'm just gonna get real comfy and we're gonna just chat. We're gonna talk. Oh my gosh, as I just saw this girl, she said, hey girl, I really love your channel. So shout out to Amelia Kate. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm literally replying to your comment right now, so go check it out. 1 second. Okay, I actually can't wait any longer for this blondie. So we're gonna get right into the blondie and we're gonna get right into the questions. I have them all on a Google Drive. Ew, I don't know why I just said it like that. I have them all on a Google Drive and I put a ton of questions on here. There's no one ever in this parking lot, and of course, and I want to do this. There's people in here. Okay, first let me just show you 7 Brew, my nice iced blondie medium. If you have a 7 Brew by you, go get some. It's just so good. It's definitely coffee. This one tastes a little more coffee like than my other ones have. we're gonna start off strong. First question is, how do frat parties work? Like, do you just walk in? Okay, so for frat parties, I will say a lot of the time for frat party, you need a text. And if you're like, what the heck, like, what do you mean by you need a text? Frats and sororities kind of have group me's or like Snapchat group chats, at least at Madison, because I obviously don't know how it works at other colleges. At least at Madison, they have like group chats, frats and sororities. So like, let's say like SAE has a group chat with like Alpha Phi, you know? So like, then if they're having a party or they're hosting or whatever, SAE texts Alpha Phi and they're like, here's your invite, whatever. So if you're in a sorority and you are part of like, I guess, a big sorority, you just get those texts automatically. You don't have to worry about it. And then once you show up to the frat, you just show them your text and that's basically it, and they let you in. Now, if you're wondering, like, I don't want to be in a sorority, I don't want to do all that, I still want to go to a frat though, it's still possible. If you're a girl, it's pretty easy to get in unless they're really strict on the text. If you're a girl, it's pretty easy to get into a sorority because you're a girl. So guys, so sorry, but like, guys, it's hard for a guy to get in. I'm not a guy, but I just know that a lot of guys like have a hard time getting in, or they just like don't get in at all. So a lot of guys go to house parties or they go to the bars, but like a lot of girls, it's just basically all girls. Like the ratio is like 1 to 10, like 1 guy to 10 girls. Like there's just, the only guys in the frats are the guys from the frats. The guys that are in those frats are the only guys at that like frat party, if that makes sense. But if you're like, okay, how do I get into a frat if I don't have a text? Sometimes you can lie, and I will say I've done this before. There's some frats that are really, really strict on having text, and if you don't have a text, then you're gone. So literally you can be in a friend group, you can be like with your friends, and they can all have text. Let's say you're there with like 5 girls, and let's say 4 of them have text, and 1 of them isn't in a sorority and they don't have a text. They will let those 4 girls in, and they won't let that 1 person in because they don't have text, which is so annoying. But one trick that I pulled up my sleeve, actually Emily came in clutch with this one, but one trick that we kind of did was, okay, so Emily's in a sorority, my friend Emily's in a sorority, and she was like, oh, she's just a friend visiting from out of town and she doesn't go to school here, but like she's my hometown friend, whatever. So that trick worked. Also, what you could do, I don't know if I'm even supposed to be saying this, but I feel like another thing that people do is screenshot their texts and send them to their friends, and then that's how they get in. Honestly, you can get really creative, but the one thing about frats is like you just need a text to get in. That's like your safest way to get into a frat, is to have a text. As for how they work, they're literally like a bunch of college students in a basement. Like that's literally all it is. A lot of people like hop from frat to frat, so you don't just stay in one frat, because there's normally a few happening. Not every frat throws every weekend or every night, but there are some like big weekends, I guess, where like a lot of frats throw, and then people just like hop, like frat hop. You just go to like different frats, if that makes sense. Okay, next question is, what clothes should I bring for frats? What are the girls wearing? I actually just posted a video today actually of college outfits, going out outfits, class outfits, but if you didn't watch that video, I would say for clothes, oh, there goes my phone. Okay, 1 second, I have to grab my phone. Okay, I got my phone. That was freaking crazy and insane. Please never do that again. So basically, the one thing I would say to bring for clothes for frats is a pair of jeans. They can be ripped, they can be non-ripped, but jeans is always like a big staple. Everyone's always wearing jeans. Everyone always has jeans. The easiest thing to put on to go out and something you can easily dress up are a pair of jeans. So just bring a good pair of jeans, something you can rewear multiple times. No one cares if you rewear the same pair of jeans. No one even cares if you rewear the same top, but it's also fun to kind of mix and match the top and like just kind of, I don't know, like have different, you don't want to go out in the same top every time you go out, but jeans and like pants, it doesn't matter. I would say, I did include this in my video, but I would say leather pants aren't as popular as you might think. At least my year at Madison, I didn't see a lot of girls in leather pants, so that's up to you, but I wouldn't necessarily bring leather pants. I don't think they are in style. I don't know, bring leather pants if you want to. I didn't bring any. I actually bought some at Madison because I thought I would need them, and I never used them. I will say though, for shoes, bring frat shoes. Bring shoes that you don't care will get absolutely disgusting, because I bought a pair of, they're like fake Air Forces. They're like the Adidas fake Air Forces ones. I thrifted them at Plato's Closet, I think. So they were still pretty nice, but I was expecting them to get absolutely like demolished. So I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. But these frat shoes, you need to get shoes that you don't care that get like all gross and messed up and whatever. Because the first night I went out with these, mind you, these shoes were from Plato's Closet, so they're still pretty good. Like they were still white, they were still in great condition. The first night I went out to a frat, the first night I went out, I wore these shoes. They got absolutely demolished. Like they were literally black. In the morning when I looked at them, they were black. They will get drinks spilled on them. They will get stepped on. Frat floors are absolutely disgusting. Bring shoes that you don't care are gonna get absolutely gross, but also make sure that they're comfortable because you're gonna do a lot of walking, especially if you go to a big school. You're gonna do a lot of walking between frats and back to your dorm and whatever. But yeah, bring a freaking pair of frat shoes because they're gonna get disgusting. So that is another big piece of advice. I forgot to mention that in my outfits video, but yes, bring some frat shoes because they're gonna get disgusting. A lot of girls wear Air Forces, some girls wear Converse. I wouldn't bring like tennis shoes for frats. I wouldn't bring like tennis shoes for frats, but a lot of girls either do like Converse or Air Forces or something that looks kind of like that. That is a big piece of advice that I would give you. And then also, if you're going to a school that is cold, bring a fracket, which is a frat jacket. It's just a jacket that is cheap, cute, but you don't care if it's gonna get stolen, because a lot of the times you take your jacket off because all these bars are all these frats, they're all hot because there's so many bodies, so many people in there, so it gets really hot. So you're gonna want to take your jacket off, but you're not gonna have anywhere to put it. So sometimes people just set their jackets down and then you just never see that jacket again, because people steal jackets when they are ready to go home. They just grab whatever one that they find and they take it and they go. So just make sure that if you bring a jacket, buy a cheap one, cute one, but also one that you don't care if it gets stolen. And also with frat jackets, like, they're just nice because walking from your dorm to a frat at a big school especially, it's gonna get really cold. Like in Wisconsin, it gets to like -10 degrees and like girls are walking out in their like tank tops and like going out tops, whatever, and it just gets cold. So just bring a frat jacket. I think that would be really helpful. And then as for tops, I would say buy a lot of your tops from Shein. Don't go get any expensive tops, or don't go to like Princess Polly. Actually, I don't really know how expensive Princess Polly is. I don't shop there, but just don't get expensive tops. Get cheap ones. I would suggest Shein. You can even go on Amazon if they're cheap enough, but I would just say Shein has a lot of good going out tops. Sometimes when I borrow tops from my friends, I'm like, oh, where did you get this? This is so cute. They're like, oh, Shein. So like, so many people get their tops from Shein because they're just cheap and like cute, and then you can get multiple and then switch them out, which is really nice. So I would just suggest get a bunch of tops from Shein. That was a really long answer for a really short question, but that is what I would wear to frats, is jeans. I guess you can also wear cargo pants. Sometimes I would wear cargo pants out, and then just cute tops and stuff. Okay, this one, I guess, kind of moving away from the whole like party life, whatever. Biggest advice for incoming freshmen, my biggest advice is say yes to every opportunity. You will get so many opportunities thrown your way. Like, your college will like plan out all of these things for freshmen. You might think they're stupid, because I did at first too. I was like, why would I go to like get ice cream with Bucky or something? But I feel like you just meet so many people. The biggest way to meet people is just to say yes to every opportunity. Go to all these events, do all these things, because you never know who you're gonna find. And then like join clubs, talk to people in your classes. Like, everyone is in the same boat freshman year, at least like first semester, even like the first month, like the first week, everyone's in the same boat. No one, unless you like came with your friend group, I guess, but like not a lot of people have a friend group yet that first week. And then also on that topic, I know I'm like shying away a little bit from biggest advice, but like on that topic, that first week of college for freshmen, every single person is like so fake, because everyone's trying to make friends, everyone's trying to like be nice to everyone, and everyone wants to find those friend groups. And then, sorry, had to take a little sip. People are gonna start posting on their Instagrams, on their Snapchat, these big friend groups that they have. Trust me, these friend groups are not gonna last. They're not gonna last more than maybe like a month, because everyone's just gonna find other people. Everyone's gonna find other friend groups, other activities. I don't know. Everyone's just gonna do their own thing, and people aren't going to stick in the same friend groups. And also, like, even those people that do post on Instagram and stuff, and they're like, oh my gosh, look at all my friends. Like, they probably just took that picture spontaneously, like, oh my gosh, your outfit's so cute, or like, let's take a picture, whatever. That doesn't mean that they're best friends. It might look like they're best friends. That does not mean that they're best friends. They just take cute pictures. I know last year when I was like trying to meet people, we would go to football games and like we would take cute pictures and I would post them. Doesn't necessarily mean that they were my best friends. Like, yes, some people from those pictures like I'm actually super close with right now, but not everyone in those pictures. And it's not like anything happened. Like, we just grew apart. Like, we just, I don't know, not everyone vibes and not everyone clicks. And so that's like one thing I would say is like, just make sure you don't get in your head about all these people having friend groups and you thinking you're behind, because that's not always the case. It's just like, I don't know, people just post on social media. Like, not everything on social media is real. I guess biggest advice, say yes to every opportunity, meet everyone, be nice to everyone, because honestly, you never know who is gonna be a good resource and who's gonna be successful and who's gonna be like whatever in the future. So just be nice to everyone, try and be friends with everyone, but don't be fake. If you don't click with someone, don't just try and be friends with them because you're trying to be friends with everyone. Like, just don't have beef with people, and if you don't like someone, be the bigger person and move on, because it's not worth it to have beef in college. It's just not worth it. Like, that is so like middle school, high school. You guys are in college now, just don't deal with that. Okay, the next question is advice for having roommates you don't get along with. I'm actually really lucky and I'm so grateful that I got a good roommate, because a lot of people meet their roommates on Instagram or on Facebook or just like through people that they know, but I met my roommate on Instagram. Shout out Chloe. I met my roommate on Instagram and we kind of just talked on Instagram, and then we decided to room together, which can be a good thing and can be a bad thing because we didn't meet before we decided to room together. So I would say that, like, if you have the opportunity to meet the person you want to room with, I would meet them first, because people online aren't the same as they are in person, and like, it's just, you can't really read a vibe through text, because you can't, like, I don't know how to explain it, but you can't read someone's tone through text. So like, they can be super nice and whatever on text, but they can be like a bitch in person. So I don't know, I would just say like meet them if you can. If you can't though, try and like ask a lot of questions on Instagram or like wherever you're talking, and try and get to know the person the best. But I guess to answer the question, like how to deal with roommates you don't get along with, like, I would just say be the bigger person. If you don't get along with your roommate, don't like be bitchy, like don't be a bitch to each other, because that's just not gonna end well. And you're just, I don't know, like, you have to live together for the rest of that year. I mean, I guess you can request a roommate switch or like a room switch, but that's just a whole hassle. So I would just say be the bigger person. Also communicate and figure out what time each of you are going to be in the room, because I feel like it can get really awkward if you're in the room with someone that you don't like because you have to share that room with them. I would just say communicate and like know who's going to be in the room at what time, so that you guys both aren't in the same room at the same time. Obviously you're gonna have to sleep in the same room, and that's just gonna be a whole different thing, but just be respectful of each other's space. I know it really depends on like why you don't get along with your roommate. Either way, just respect each other's space. Don't okay, I won't say anything in specific, but I do know someone who dealt with not having a good roommate, and all I'm gonna say on this is don't move their stuff. Don't move like the garbage can by their stuff or dump garbage on their bed. Don't do any of that, because you're just going to create a lot more drama for yourself. It's just going to be even worse than it already is. Just be respectful of each other's space. Don't do anything that's going to upset them even more, even if you're like, oh my gosh, I just need to get back at them because they did this, this, and this, and I need to make them feel how I felt. It's not worth it. Be the bigger person. Like, it's not worth it to feed into their ego. So just be the bigger person. I would say don't feed into it. Okay, next question is, this is actually a question I got from you guys on one of my YouTube videos. It is, I'll be living in Whitty next year. Do you have any advice for living in dorms like that? So Whitty is a dorm in Madison, and it is a southeast dorm because we have two kind of neighborhoods. There's the southeast, which is like in the city, and then there's Lakeshore, which is like, it's still on campus, but it's a little bit more like nature-y. I don't know, it's like kind of like its own thing. So southeast dorms do have kind of like a stigma of being like the party dorms, especially Whitty and Celery. Og kind of, not so much, but Whitty and Celery kind of have this big stigma of being party dorms. I guess I would say for living in Whitty, my biggest advice for living in one of these dorms is that you will find all different kinds of people in southeast dorms. It's not just gonna be like the party animals are put in southeast, and then the nerds and like the people that don't want anything to do with partying are in Lakeshore, because there are going to be a mix of both in each neighborhood, I guess. So there's going to be all these different kinds of people, like so many different kinds of people are going to be living in Southeast and in Whitty. So you will find, like, if partying isn't your thing, you will find people that don't like to party. If partying is your thing, you will find people that like to party. There's this like thing where like, I feel like Whitty and Celery are known for like having dorm parties. I didn't experience that a lot. A lot of dorm parties like weren't a thing. Also, Southeast dorms get really loud, not necessarily because of like music and partying in the dorms. It's just because it's in the city. So there's going to be a lot of like ambulances and like sirens and police officers, and you're just gonna hear all these sirens at night. So it's gonna be hard to sleep if you are a light sleeper. That is actually a big thing about Southeast dorms, is that because they're in the city and they're like in the middle of kind of where everything is, so much is happening and there's just so much noise. And then also, this is probably like the last 2 months of me living in in Celery because I lived in Celery, which is a southeast dorm. They are building a brand new building literally right across the street from Celery and where my dorm window was. So I literally was facing the construction, and it was so loud. Like, I would wake up at like 5 in the morning and they'd be like banging on whatever, like building this building. So it just gets really loud, and you just kind of have to get used to that. It's just something that comes with being in the southeast dorms and being in the city, is the noise. But then also going back to the people you find, like there's going to be all different kinds of people there. Like all different kinds of people are going to be living in these southeast dorms, so you'll find people, I promise. Also, another thing about living in southeast dorms is that because they are the most party dorms and they have this whole like reputation of being a party dorm and being all these big dorms, whatever, on big weekends like Halloween weekend and Mifflin. If you don't know what Mifflin is, it's just this huge block party in like end of April, beginning of May-ish kind of. Because of this, the RAs and it's like the university monitors who goes in and who leaves, which sucks because for Mifflin it was only Whitty and Celery. I don't remember if Og was in it as well, but for sure Whitty and Celery were the only two being monitored. Even though there's like 20 something dorms I think at Madison, the only two being monitored was Whitty and Celery. And what I mean by being monitored was like they would scan your WIS card and they wouldn't let anyone into the dorm that doesn't live in that dorm. You can have a friend that lives in Celery that wants to go visit you in Whitty, but your friend from Celery can't get into Whitty during these weekends, during the weekends that they're monitoring, because they don't live in that dorm, which is so annoying. Because like for Halloween weekend I was dressing up with my friends and I couldn't go and like get ready in their dorm because I didn't live in that dorm, which was so annoying. But this was only happening on southeast dorms, like they weren't happening in the Lakeshore dorms. So like Lakeshore people, they could have like gone to their other friends' dorms, whatever, because they weren't monitoring that. So I guess the one thing about being in southeast and being in Whitty and Celery is that yes, they're like the nice big dorms. They do come with their like quote unquote like downfalls or drawbacks or whatever, is that like because they have such a reputation, they're gonna monitor, and it's just gonna be really annoying. But just for that weekend, they don't do it every weekend, just for the big weekends that they know a lot of people are gonna want to bring like friends over from like hometown or from other colleges, because they just don't want so many people to come and like whatever. So that was a really big rant on that. I am gonna do one more question because this video is gotten really long. But the last question is, what did you bring to deal with the Wisconsin winters? I'm going to college in a colder area, but I live in Las Vegas and don't have experience with snow or real winters. As a Wisconsinite and as someone that has lived in the Midwest basically my whole life, this is a hard question because I, and along with like other Midwesterns and like Wisconsinites and whatever, we're so used to the cold that when someone thinks it's cold outside, to us it's like, oh, this is normal. When someone from like the South comes to like Wisconsin or something, and let's say it's like 35-40 degrees, they're in jackets, we're in sweatshirts. We can sometimes even be in like short sleeve shirts because to us it's not that cold because we're so used to it. So that's why I'm saying this is a hard question. But I feel like as someone who doesn't experience winters and doesn't know what to do with like snow and stuff, I mean just the basics. Bring a pair of boots. If you're going to school somewhere that's icy, bring like boots that have like good grip, I guess, because at Madison we have this huge hill called Bascom Hill. When it gets icy, a lot of people slip. And not even just on that hill, like even just on the sidewalks in general, there's so much ice and people just slip. So I feel like just get good boots that have a good grip. Bring good socks, like thick socks. I don't know like exactly how cold it's gonna get where you're gonna go to school, but bring like thick socks because your feet are gonna get so cold, your hands are gonna get really cold. So like good socks, good gloves. I wasn't one to wear a hat, but this year I did decide to wear a hat. I have this cute like Madison hat, so that was really helpful. And I feel like now that you're in college, it's not embarrassing to wear a hat, wear gloves, wear a jacket. Like people, if you're walking from place to place, like my farthest class was 15 minutes away from my dorm, like yeah, I'm gonna bundle up. Like it's so freaking cold outside, like of course I'm gonna bundle up because it's cold. Also, what's really nice is wearing like a tank top or something that kind of like is tight on your body to put like under sweatshirts or jackets or shirts even, because they like keep the heat in or whatever. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about the cold winters other than maybe bring like a nice thick blanket, but don't bring multiple blankets. You don't need like 50 blankets because that's just gonna take up a lot of space in your dorm and then you're just not even gonna use all of them. I don't know, maybe bring a thick blanket to like put over your bed, but in the dorms it shouldn't get cold. I don't know, I'm trying to think of like what else for like outdoors. I don't know. I wouldn't bring sweatpants. I would bring sweatpants. I wouldn't bring snow pants because no one uses that. But yeah, bring thick socks because if you are going to a place where it snows and you get like snow in your shoes, which really does suck. Your feet get really cold and that sucks. Okay, that was it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was really long and it was just me talking and me ranting, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will definitely make sure to answer them in the comments, because like I said, I don't know when I'm gonna do another kind of like advice talk with me video. Unless you guys like this kind of video and this style, then I can do it again, and if I get enough questions, I will do it again. But just leave your comments below and ask any questions that you have about college, because I'm really passionate about helping people with their college journeys, because I didn't have anyone to help me. I mean, I had my older brother, but like other than that, like if you don't have an older sibling, like you just don't have anyone to help guide you, and I would love to be that person to help guide you, just because if you've been following along, you've seen my journey. You've seen basically me like starting college. You guys have followed me all through my freshman year. So we are learning together. We're learning this new chapter in our lives together, and it's so much fun, and I love just seeing like my growth and whatever, but I also want to be a resource to you guys. So that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, because I am trying to get to 3,000 subscribers so soon, and I hope you guys follow along this journey with me, because I would love to just keep making content. I think making content is so fun. Like I absolutely love doing this. I love editing videos, I love making videos, I love doing all of this, and I love interacting with you guys like in the comments and everything. So yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.